Looked like he had a hard time putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads. And
the question of getting paid as you step in the cage was...
Well, listen, if anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured...
This meant something to me, man. I needed this. I've been waiting for this comeback for so long. It didn't even feel real the entire fight week. And this is the result we get. This is the worst possible outcome of this main event. I see people that don't like Conor McGregor rejoicing at this outcome. You didn't even see him or get to see him get beaten up in that fight. This is the worst case scenario for any McGregor fan and any McGregor hater. We just straight up didn't get a main event.
Do we, the fans, have to once and for all say it's over? Conor McGregor is going to retire. His career is going to be over.
The long-awaited return had finally arrived, but the moment fans had been counting down to was over almost as soon as it began. What was supposed to become a historic night ended in only a matter of minutes, as an unexpected injury turned an unforgettable comeback into pure heartbreak. Conor McGregor has now broken his silence, admitting how devastated he is after suffering the brutal leg injury. McGregor said he felt incredibly sharp and fully prepared for the fight, adding that he still can't believe how everything unfolded. He also rejected claims that he looked off during his walk to the octagon, insisting there was nothing wrong with him beforehand. According to Conor, he was calm, focused, and completely confident before the opening bell. He admitted he is still shocked by everything that happened, saying it feels like the devil is standing right in front of him, testing his resolve. Still, he made it clear he won't give in. McGregor said he would be in church the next day, promised to overcome the setback, refused to let it define him, and vowed that he will return. Without question, this has become one of the most heartbreaking comeback attempts the sport has ever witnessed. After months of anticipation and massive excitement from both fans and fighters, even Dana White looked visibly disappointed, as he had expected the main event to last at least beyond the opening round.
Great card, unbelievable. I mean, the Paddy Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing.
Daniel Cormier also admitted he was crushed by the way the fight came to such an abrupt ending. In his view, fans were denied what could have been one of the greatest and most unforgettable nights in combat sports history, making the outcome even more frustrating for everyone who had been waiting for this event.
It's like somebody took my candy from me. I'm just so sad. That's so crazy how sad I am.
Well,
early medical opinions suggest that McGregor may have worsened a knee issue that already existed before stepping into the cage. Initial evaluations indicate that a meniscus injury appears to be the most likely diagnosis, although doctors haven't completely ruled out the possibility of an ACL injury. Based on how the incident happened, however, experts believe a torn meniscus currently seems like the more probable explanation.
I can't tell you guys this. I got a text from our good friend Dr. Brian Suterer, who's always on point when it comes to these things. Didn't see the classic shift like an obvious ACL. I'd say meniscus #1. ACL definitely possible and a concern, but not the definitive kind like we've seen in others. Would fit with some meniscus issues coming into the fight that got worse on the landing. So there you have it from Dr. Brian Suterer, who always does an amazing job pinpointing.
At the same time, a completely different debate has started circulating online. Some people believe Conor may have already been dealing with an injury before the fight but chose to compete anyway so the event could go ahead and he could still collect his payday. Fans have even pointed to footage of McGregor removing his shoes just before entering the cage, claiming his movements in that clip appear unusual and have fueled even more speculation.
Enter the octagon in the inspection zone. So hard to know if there was any sort of...
After seeing those videos, many people in the MMA community have become convinced that McGregor entered the fight already injured. Some have even argued that if the UFC knew about it beforehand, it would be a serious stain on the sport, and fans who paid for the event deserve compensation. Professional boxer Chase DeMore also criticized McGregor, saying, "Bro just made millions to go out there and flop, then skipped every interview afterward. That's disrespectful to the fans who spent their hard-earned money, and also to everyone who stayed up late, missed work, or rearranged their schedules to watch. Conor, this is a terrible look for the UFC."
You had a better look at it than anybody, and you identified it earlier. Do you think it was that first kick that he threw?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I did the UFC podcast before I came here, and me and Wonderboy was talking about it. Even with him walking into the octagon, it didn't seem, it just didn't seem like the same Conor, Like, I thought he was there to fight, but, like, I thought he'd be a little bit more rowdy, a little bit more crazy. He looked, like, really, really calm, like, super calm. So I was just kind of like, oh, wow, let's see how this goes. And then, of course, I knew he was going to attack me with something, and it was that kick. So, it sucks.
Max Holloway also shared his thoughts, revealing that McGregor didn't appear to be his normal self even before the fight got underway. Holloway said he noticed something felt different during Conor's walk to the octagon, and looking back now, the disappointing performance and the unfortunate ending don't seem nearly as surprising as they did in the moment. Sharing that same opinion, MMA Guru also believed something didn't look right with Conor during his walk to the octagon. He pointed out how McGregor threw a kick almost immediately after the fight began, suffered the devastating injury, and forced the bout to be stopped within seconds. According to MMA Guru, it was the absolute worst way a main event could possibly end. He described it as a fight where virtually nothing happened and predicted the UFC would likely book a rematch. He also repeated that McGregor appeared to be dealing with an issue even before the opening bell. Fans across the MMA world couldn't hide their disappointment, saying they had waited months for this moment only to see it end in complete frustration. Here are some of the reactions that poured in after the unforgettable disappointment.
Looked like he had a hard time putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads, and
I'm just wondering if something happened within the last 24 hours. I don't see it on the landing, the actual landing of that flight.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but I didn't see, the doctors checked him out before they fight, and he looked damn good at the press conference, and he looked fine at the weigh-ins.
It's just a question of getting paid if you step in the cage.
What's that?
The question of getting paid as you step in the cage was...
Well, listen, if anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured leading up to this fight, I mean, what the fucking face-off do? 44 million in 24 hours? More than 44 million views. Somebody would have saw something. Anybody see something? No, if they did, they didn't say it, which is impossible. Nobody would do that.
A reporter also questioned whether Conor McGregor had been carrying a leg injury before stepping into the cage. The concern came from an awkward moment during the weigh-ins, where McGregor appeared to have difficulty while putting on his shoes. The reporter asked Dana White directly if the UFC had any knowledge of a possible injury before the fight took place. Despite the growing criticism and online speculation, the UFC released backstage footage in an effort to quiet the rumors. The video appeared to show McGregor moving comfortably, looking healthy, and even drilling the exact same leg strike that later led to the injury during the fight, suggesting there were no obvious signs that anything was wrong beforehand.
So, we were talking about the guy over here earlier asking about there being a pre-injury. Just on my accounts, the face-off that day is at 80 million views, right? So, if there was a pre-existing injury, somebody would have noticed it. He was limping, put his shoes on, he ran right at him. I don't think there was. Anything is possible, but he sure didn't look like it. And for 80 million just on my accounts, you know, that number's got to be massive, and nobody noticed anything. So there you go.
Dana White has firmly rejected the claims that Conor entered the fight with a clear pre-existing injury. According to White, McGregor never showed any visible signs of pain or discomfort throughout fight week, including during media appearances and the final face-off. He argued that with millions of people watching every move, any noticeable limp or physical problem would have been spotted long before the opening bell. Even with Dana White's explanation, many fans remain unconvinced. They believe they've uncovered more evidence supporting the injury theory, pointing to reports and images showing McGregor visiting a hospital just 3 days before the fight, which has only fueled even more speculation online.
I mean, I had the man weak in the knees, I guess, so. You know, all jokes aside, I just hope he's good. This guy's kids is front row, you know. I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage. Like, man, come on. Like, you call this. He was done. Ref, stop the fight. He doesn't want to fight. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. Fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up there. He just kind of grabbed his leg, you know, and he screamed. He's like, ah. And I was telling the ref, come on, bro. Like, I ain't trying to beat up a wounded dog. It just didn't seem like the same Conor. Like I said, I have people, you know, I keep people weak in their knees. And I bounce his head on the mat, so. All jokes aside, you guys making me a terrible person. What the hell? I might poke fun and tease him here and there, but that's just part of the fight game. As a person, he's an animal, and I got nothing but respect and love.
Meanwhile, Max Holloway couldn't resist making a few lighthearted jokes about Conor McGregor's injured knee after the event. However, he quickly made it clear that his comments were never intended to disrespect McGregor. Holloway emphasized that he would never wish a serious injury on any fighter and said he still has a great deal of respect for the former two-division champion despite the playful remarks.